All right, guys. So the NBA playoffs are heating up, and the best teams are starting to show themselves. So how do I get you involved in the game? You know what you do? Go to our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Enter that promo code DCTV. Bet $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. I choose them all. I gotta win. So I do that though at the DraftKings Sportsbook because I'm a smart guy. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. Show your basketball knowledge. And then when you're doing that, use my promo code to save a little bit and to get some bonus bets. Bet only $5 or more, get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up using my promo code DCTV. Bet 5, get $150 in bonus bets. And show your friends that you're the one. You're the brain when it comes to the NBA and the NBA playoffs. Guys, the games are good. So why don't you get in the game with the DraftKings Sportsbook? Because at the DraftKings Sportsbook, especially when you use that promo code DCTV, that crown is yours. This is crazy, man. He's doing it again. Guys, he's actually doing it again, is Luis. Every time I start a video, this man goes, "Can you see me, DC?" I'm like, bro, I can't see you. At this point, I can hear you. Luis, are you there? See, he ignores me. Guys, so I have been talking about the whole heavyweight situation because to me it's so intriguing, right? Because you have a guy in Jones who rightfully sits where he sits. I don't care how annoying it is that he is unwilling to fight Tom Aspinall. I don't really care about that, honestly. I would like to see them fight, but when you have done the things that he's done, I don't think that Jones owes it to anyone to play by their rules. But in the honor of sport, right, which is something that Jones has really kind of lived up to over the course of his career, it would be the right thing to fight that young man who holds that belt. But how can you say a fight between two guys widely considered and the greatest of conversation is a fight you don't want to see? And it seems like it's going to happen in New York City. You know, New York City is a place where when you fight there, you can feel the magic. When you fight there for a heavyweight championship, you can feel the magic. You can feel the ghost of the Joe Frazier's and the Muhammad Ali's and the Sonny Listons and the so many George Foremans and so many great fighters that passed through Madison Square Garden. I believe that if you're going to do a heavyweight championship fight, you do it there, and you do it with those two guys. You know, I think that the frustration comes from Jones telling people what he's going to do and being unwilling or, yes, to move or make adjustments or to adjust. You know, for a long time when we were going through our stuff, Jones and I, people spoke about how they wish he would just be forward and forthright and just tell them, hey, I'm a piece of shit. It is what it is. Deal with it. Now, Jones is pretty much saying, I'm going to do what I want to do, regardless of what you feel, and people don't like it. You can't have both sides of the coin. You just can't. You can't tell him, be your true self. Then when he gives you his true self, you dislike it and go back to, I don't know if I like this guy. Dude is the champion, heavyweight champion of the world. They put him in there with Cyril Gane, and he beat him. He got it done. You know, when you are the man with the title and the man with the accolades, you kind of make the rules, especially in his situation. If you know one thing, there have been a lot of concessions made for Jon Jones. The only time those concessions are made is ultimately when you are making money. And if you ain't making money, you are not getting the concessions made for you. You just kind of got to deal with all that on your own. Tom Aspinall, to his credit, takes the next fight. You know, I was going on and on about this Ciryl Gane thing. And I remember when Ciryl Gane fought in Paris. Man, it was perfect. He beat Tai Tuivasa. The crowd was as hot as you've ever seen a crowd. Tom Aspinall's there. Tom Aspinall still is at that point trying to find a way into the conversation. So what do? You go to Ciryl Gane, the guy that just fought for the belt, was the interim champion, fought for the heavyweight championship against Francis Ngannou, and you say, I want to fight him. And the best way to do that is by being in an arena, hoping that when that guy wins and he has his moment, because Ciryl fought tremendous on that fight night against Tai, he calls you into the octagon, and you build a moment that you can build a fight on. Ciryl Gane no sells him. Ciryl doesn't even talk about him being there. So essentially, he's there for nothing because Ciryl just does not pay him any mind. I thought it was a mistake by Ciryl Gane. I thought, because we don't know, right? A lot of times when we're talking to you guys, we are talking from a place of experience, but not really in the details or unwilling to give all the details. I thought that when Tom Aspinall didn't beat Sergey Pavlovich, he gets an opportunity to fight someone. We don't know who that's going to be. It ultimately turns out to be Curtis Blaydes, but only because you'd imagine it came back to bite Ciryl Gane in the ass. No, it did not come back to bite Ciryl Gane in the ass, guys. I guess Ciryl Gane was the first guy offered the fight. I guess he was the first guy offered the fight. And Tom said yes. But then Ciryl has a movie going on right now. And because he's doing a movie, he didn't want to go into fight camp. Hell, I remember Michael Bisping being on a movie set. 1 week later, he's the world champion. I don't know that you pass up these opportunities, but I don't know how Ciryl Gane didn't recognize that it's a very unique circumstance, because Tom Aspinall could have did to him what he did to Tom Aspinall. He could have, but he said, nope, I'm going to fight him. That tells me who Tom Aspinall is, right? That tells me who he is. I don't question this young man anymore. I remember when Michael Bisping made these huge, grand statements about this young man when he was going to fight Sergey Pavlovich. And I had seen Sergey Pavlovich just knock everybody out. No matter who he fought, he knocked them out. And Michael Bisping was telling me and everybody else that would listen that this guy was going to make this fight look easy. And I said to myself, I said, wow, Bisping is just talking because this is an Englishman. This is one of his own people, and he wants to support him. Come to find out, Michael Bisping was telling you the God-honest truth. He was telling you the truth. Tom Aspinall made it look easy in that fight. But then by saying okay to Ciryl Gane too, it tells me that he is not looking to not compete with anyone. Called out Jon Jones, who is considered by many the greatest fighter of all time. He accepted the Ciryl Gane fight, who, if we know anything about Ciryl Gane, he is as good as any heavyweight we've seen in a long time. He's got a lot of unique skills that make it very difficult. But when you look at Tom Aspinall, obviously Tom shares a lot of those same skills. He said yes. And I think therein lies a bit of the problem before I get into a little bit of the Curtis Blaydes, Tom Aspinall match. I think there lies the problem with most. You got one guy who's a longtime champion, who is now the current champion, saying, I'm going to do whatever I want when I want. On the other hand, you got another guy, the young guy, who is the interim champion, that is saying, whoever it's going to be, it's going to be, right? So now you got this divide in people who have seen Jon Jones go from being the guy that took Rashad Evans' place on short notice to fight Shogun Rua to become the champion. Jon Jones, who's the guy that fought each and every single killer that came his way. The people that were there are reminded, wait, he used to be like Tom Aspinall, but now he's not doing that. So you have this section of people going, fight this guy right here, Tom. He's the best. We can recognize that. John's going, I'm fighting this guy over here. He's 42 years old. He hasn't fought in 4 years. That's where the divide comes in. That's why people are so split and people are so pissed off. Now, Jones has a very, very committed fan base, and they will fight and defend him no matter what he does. But for the first time, I feel like more are kind of going, hey, man, to hell with this. There's a young, hungry lion on that side waiting to fight you. Why aren't you fighting him? I don't feel like he's going to be willing to do that. He ain't changing. And I don't know that he needs to. Now, when talking about the Curtis Blaydes, Tom Aspinall fight, Jones was asked. He said, Curtis versus Tom for the official #1 contender spot. See, and that's another thing, right? While Jon is saying, I'm doing what I'm doing, which, guys, not done yet. I'm going to get to Jon and what he's doing in a few. While he's saying that, he still has many, many points on this fight. He goes, I wouldn't be surprised if Curtis won. I've seen scenarios like this time and time again. Dude, prematurely drinking his own Kool-Aid ends up with a huge piece of humble pie. I mean, if Sergey can touch Tom Aspinall that easy, I'm sure Curtis can too. When Curtis decides to go, he's a lot faster than people realize, and he hits hard. A few well-timed shots and that strong top game, it could be a long night for old Tommy boy. Either way, I'll be watching, excited to have some additional footage. It's that, right? It's that, and we'll get to it. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if this is true, but if it is, it all makes sense. Him saying this about the fight, though, right? That's so true about Curtis. Curtis has tremendous power. Curtis has great wrestling. Curtis seems to be the type of guy that can present problems for Tom Aspinall. I'm sure they fought before, but nothing really happened. We didn't see a fight. One kick, 15 seconds, fight's over, dude towards knee up. They asked Curtis about it. Curtis goes, if I win or if Aspinall wins, I don't think Jones is going to fight anyone outside of Stipe. After Stipe, he will walk away into the sunset. That's what Curtis said after Jon kind of gave him his flowers. But I don't know that Jon's necessarily giving him his flowers more than taking a shot at Tom Aspinall. It's a bit of a passive-aggressive type of statement because that's what we do as fighters, right? We're passive-aggressive until the contract signed and you can be openly and outwardly aggressive on the person that you're fighting. Curtis Blaydes and Tom Aspinall, to me, and Stipe said it. Stipe goes, hell, take the belt. I don't care. I want to fight Jon Jones. I don't care about the belt. Take the belt. I believe that fight doesn't need a belt. But Jon won't give up the title. And these guys will fight for the interim title. And it's a tremendous fight. But I do believe that the winner of that fight will ultimately will rise to becoming the undisputed champion, because I don't know that Jon Jones has a long career left ahead of him, especially if we're going to get into in a couple seconds. It's true. You know, it's right. Because Curtis Blaydes beating Jailton Almeida after the way Jailton Almeida looked tells you he is as valuable at the top of this division for a long time. Tom Aspinall has shown you time and time again that he may just be the guy that leads the heavyweight division into the future, especially in Manchester. The place is going to be rocking it. Rocking in Manchester. And Tom Aspinall is going to be the biggest star of all time. Jon did say this, though. He goes, hey, you're a heavyweight champion and you're in the co-main event. Star power's not there. Remember, guys, let's not forget, the other day, Jones was talking when he fought Anthony Smith, when he fought Dominic Reyes. Jones spoke about the motivation and not really wanting to fight these guys that didn't get him up. think he's saying that about Tom. And I don't know that that's quite true. But Tom has an opportunity. Because if Tom Aspinall can win this fight over Curtis Blaydes impressively, and make that moment in Manchester and go, hey, guys, I'm in New York City. I'm the backup fighter. I'm on the scale. If one of these dudes get hurt, I'm in there. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Jones has a lot to say about this fight when in reality it seems as though he's not going to fight going forward. I don't know if he would be better served to just ignore their fight and focus just solely on Stipe Miocic, because Stipe is doing that for him, because Stipe knows that that's his route to a championship. If Miocic wanted to rebuild his way into a title, he would have fought already. He knew that he was going to wait and hope that the idea or that old thought of a title fight or a super fight was going to be enough to earn him a championship or warrant a title fight. And he did. It worked. Hats off to Miocic. Hats off to Miocic. Now, guys, I have teased time and time again that there is something that I was going to talk about that I didn't know if it was true, but I would touch it anyway. I don't fucking care. Because you know what? I know Jones, and if you have to ask me, I believe it's true. I believe it's true. Now, I could be proven wrong, but I have had many, many interactions with this man, and it feels like him when I read this. Okay, so I get this from Luis this morning. He goes, man, I think Jon Jones is talking to a fan. And I was like, well, that would make sense. So then it said, okay, this is Jones. What if I'm filthy rich and literally own not one, but two small mansions in the same town? What does that make me? I'm just curious. Because the fan initially said, you're doing everything in your power to duck Tom Aspinall. To that, the fan replies, all that money in the world, and you're still this much of an insecure coward, laughing my ass off. Just go fight Stipe and retire so that we can forget about you already. Keep ducking Aspinall, pal. Jon then replied, I've already agreed to make $15 million in my next fight. Hell yeah, bro. I'm about to beat this old man up and ride off into the sunset. And I hope you enjoy watching it. Will, this is Jones. Jones wrote that. I'm telling you right now, as a guy that has exchanged direct messages with him, that he wrote that. I think he wrote that. I could be proven wrong. Sure. I could be proven wrong. But my best thought is that he wrote that, because that sounds like something he would write, because it's something he gets to brag about. And it's something that he feels justifies what he is doing. And if he's making $15 million, he should be fighting Stipe Miocic. Right? It's almost like asking someone to win the lottery, but say, I don't want the ticket. Of course he's going to fight him if he's making $15 million. But if I had to guess, he did write that. But I do, hey, that fan, a lot of times, fans will just say rude shit that they think can hurt you, and it doesn't make sense. But that fan was not as off as some might think, because when you say all that money and you're still as insecure as you are, coward, no, but he's still insecure. And Jones does have some insecurities, as we all do. But his are just on display for the world to see. And time again, he has shown that. But if this dude is out here talking to fans right now, they're getting to him, right? They're getting to him. And that in itself is a bit of an insecurity. But if I'm Jones, I'm definitely fighting Stipe Miocic for $15 million. I'm telling you, I didn't get that. I didn't get 15 to fight Stipe. I'm telling you. I fought him 3 times. 3 times. I didn't get 15 to fight him. He said Stipe's old. Sounds like Jon Jones is wanting to fight the highest grossing fight with the least amount of risk. But I will warn you this. Don't overlook Stipe Miocic. He is a fucking killer. And if you overlook him, he will put you out. He's just that good. 42, 35, 31, 38, don't matter. Miocic is going to show up. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Guys, the heavyweight division is on fire right now, and I love it. I didn't even get to 304, all this other stuff. We'll do another video on that. But boy, MMA is good. Guys, we have now on the books, we have Makhachev versus Poirier. We have Strickland versus Costa. We have Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. We have Jamal Hill fighting back. We also have now Tom Aspinall, Leon Edwards back. We still got Izzy hanging out there. We still got Duplessis hanging out there. Boy, it is getting crazy right now. And, man, I cannot wait. Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko are going to fight at the Sphere. Imagine that. Imagine what else could happen in those fight nights. Tremendous. It's going to be crazy. It's a great time to be a UFC fan. I'm telling you. They asked me if I thought UFC 300 would still be the event of the year by the end of the year. And I said, yes, without a doubt. With these fights on the books now, I don't know. Because when we're talking just event, could you imagine the Sphere? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Guys, I'll be back with Ben Askren next week. Let's get another Funky and the Champ going. Until next time, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends that DC's got a YouTube channel. And I'm digging deep on stuff. Hey, tonight, make sure you watch Fury versus Usyk. And maybe I'll make a reaction video to that because you know I love boxing. And, Tyson Fury, was he too skinny? Did you see his legs? He was the best in the world. Oh, and Mike Tyson fat shaming Jake Paul. That shit was hilarious. Can you believe that? Mike Tyson out there fat shaming Jake Paul. And Mike Tyson, for his age, regardless, hey, if I wasn't in before, guys, I'm in now. Because to me, it sounds like Mike Tyson doesn't have any intention of going out there and putting on an exhibition. Unless Iron Mike is the greatest actor that we've ever seen. But that press conference, he told Jake Paul a lot of truths. And you watch Jake Paul sitting there like, because guess what? You can't play fighting. And one thing Mike Tyson is a fighter. And he told him, who's he knocked out? Anderson? Nope. Did he knock out Nate Diaz? Nope. If he ain't did that and he got to fight Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson gets to actually fight him, Jake Paul might be in trouble, man. Shit. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Again, guys, I got a lot to talk about. I love this shit. Like, subscribe. Like I said, tell your friends to do the same. Until next time, peace.